Thank you, Glory, and thank you for your vision. Our next speaker is Margot Boyd. Margot spent 27 years with the Toronto Police Service, retiring at the rank of superintendent in charge of the police trials unit. In addition to being the first woman assigned to a homicide squad in Canada, Ms. Boyd researched and created the first behavioral profiling program for serial sexual offenders and was instrumental in setting the framework for the Sexual Assault Squad. Margot Boyd understands the importance of educating people on the issue of child sexual abuse. Margot Boyd.
For almost 4 years as a police officer, I was the person who reviewed every sexual assault, every sexually motivated crime, and every potential sex offender report in a major Canadian city. This involved analyzing thousands of documents, describing the actions of sex offenders, and detailing the victim's physical and emotional struggle to survive during the attack and the days and years after. The link between adult sexual assault and child sexual abuse is undeniable. 70 to 80% of serial sexual rapists report that they were abused as children. There's no doubt that some survivors, There's no doubt that some survivors of child sexual assault and abuse are resilient, and they grow up with hard work to be successful, like Glory. But as a police officer, I saw more of the other side. I saw the links from child sexual abuse to spousal assault, child abuse, and even animal abuse. I saw many offenders in the justice system for petty and serious crimes, often as a result of their alcohol and drug abuse, often a symptom of the root cause leading back to child sexual abuse. Investigations into suicides and attempt suicides often revealed the deep, dark secret of child sexual abuse. On many occasions, I was involved with people suffering from mental illness, and as I investigated to determine where their life began to unravel, it often was traced back to earlyhood child physical and sexual abuse. Today's research into why kids join gangs, juvenile prostitution, and criminal activity can often be traced back to childhood physical and sexual abuse. The act of sexual abuse is horrific enough, but the magnitude of the harm and the impact on a child can last a lifetime. After seeing these truths firsthand, I kept asking myself, what can be done to stop the destruction of children's lives? The first good idea required agencies and community organizations involved with children to get background checks on prospective employees and volunteers. We've done all that, and it went a long way, but more was needed. Building on this initiative was the legislation to collect DNA. We began to track pedophiles with the sex offender registry, and high-risk units were created to notify the public when an offender was being released from jail and moving into an area. But these are all downstream activities occurring after the fact, after children have been abused, with the hope that we could stop repeat offenders. What was needed was an upstream initiative to help prevent child abuse from happening in the first place. Then I learned about Little Warriors and the Stewards of Children program. Today, we have taken another giant step forward. Little Warriors strive to make a difference by teaching adults how to help protect children from child sexual abuse. As Glory mentioned, Little Warriors believes it all begins with teaching adults how to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse. The Stewards of Children program has taken all we have learned on how predators commit their crimes. Now we can take this information to help prevent child abuse. Little Warriors, through the Stewards of Children program, can help reduce the opportunity for a child to be sexually abused. It's not about preventing kids from doing things that all normal kids should be able to do. It's about knowing how kids can be involved in these activities and be safe from those that would harm them. It's not a program with a list of don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. This is a program to teach adults how kids can take music lessons, join sports teams, and participate in group activities while being safe from child sexual abuse. By setting aside 3 hours, just 3 hours, And taking the training provided by Little Warriors, adults can help break the vicious cycle of child sexual abuse by learning the tools to help keep our children safe from child predators.
Thank you, Margot. I would now like to introduce Linda Bannister, who will talk about the statistics and the need for more current research. Linda is the principal and owner of Bannister Research and Consulting, Inc., and is a certified management consultant. She has 20 years consulting experience in the areas of market research, evaluation, and performance measurement, and holds 2 professional certifications as a certified management consultant and a certified market research professional. Linda Bannister.
So I work with research every day. When I learned the statistics on child sexual abuse, it was more than just data. 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience an unwanted sexual act before the age of 18. The statistics are alarming. In my role as Director of Research for Little Warriors, I help conduct a detailed search of secondary data sources on child sexual abuse. The statistics from the American organization Darkness to Light were used as a starting point for the research. The City of Edmonton Public Library Smart Search service was also retained to undertake a search on the subject. Data sources collected range from crime statistics to government-funded research studies to academic articles. For the purposes of the Little Warriors media campaign, the most statistically representative, reliable, and valid Canadian study, to our knowledge, was used, the 1988 Canadian Badgley Royal Commission report on sexual offences against children and youth. The accumulation of statistics on child sexual abuse will be an ongoing priority for Little Warriors. To date, statistics have been identified from more than 30 Canadian sources. Child sexual abuse is largely a hidden crime, so it's difficult to accurately estimate the number of children who are sexually abused. Research consistently reveals that most victims do not disclose their abuse, so the extent of the problem is believed to be underreported. Little Warriors is committed to providing information to the public so they can be made aware of the prevalence and frequency of child sexual abuse in our society. One of the goals of Little Warriors is to obtain funding to complete a comprehensive research study to identify current statistics on child sexual abuse, including the impact of the internet. By having a greater understanding of this important issue, Little Warriors will work hard to change the statistics.
Thank you, Linda. Certainly a child should not be a statistic. And you